the official podcast of the International UFO Bureau. Founded in 1957 and reimagined for today, we're fusing decades of discovery with next-gen tech to uncover the truth about unidentified anomalous phenomena. Join Executive Director Terry Keel, CEO Mindy Totfest, and Director of Research Melissa Madrigal. 3 generations, 1 mission: to investigate the unknown and bring the truth into focus. This is the Bureau.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bureau, where 3 generations of women come together to investigate the truth behind unidentified anomalous phenomena. I'm Mindy Totfest, and I'm joined today by my 2 wonderful co-hosts, Miss Terry Keel and Miss Melissa Madrigal. How are you guys?
I'm well. How are you guys tonight?
Doing great. I'm excited tonight.
Yes. Is it cold out there, Terry?
Oh, as you can see, you all look like you're getting ready to go to a dance, and I'm all snuggled up here in my wonderful shirt. Yeah, it's very cold tonight, and we're getting a polar plunge this weekend. I think everybody is actually, except California.
California, yeah.
California, we're under a blanket of weird fog.
Ooh.
Weird fog. Tell us about it.
Yeah. For the last week and a half, we've had this really thick blanket over, and it's just like, I don't even want to say Central California because we think Sacramento. We're talking about the middle stretch of California from, Northern California near Mount Shasta all the way down to, I think, LA. And it's just it'll release a little bit during the day, but it comes in heavy, and it's got this, we get fog, but this one is different. It's thick and it's got a weird color to it, almost smoke-like. So it's been interesting. It looks like they've got a big fire outside.
So it's smog?
That's not what they're saying. It is. They're calling it fog. Some people are calling it radiation fog. I haven't looked into that. Yeah, I don't know about that, but it's interesting for sure.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, keep us posted. Don't breathe too much outside. Stay in.
Bust out that COVID mask.
Yeah, no kidding.
So first, I wanted to start off, you ladies, and thank you so much for picking up last minute. About 2 minutes before we were set to go live, I got the news about Mike 6, and thank you guys for mentioning him.
Yes.
He was my partner here in Oklahoma for several years. We would set off on adventures every time a case came in. Mike didn't care. He was like, let's go. He's 30-year law enforcement. So he would jump in. He would always let me drive. And of course, I drive a standard. So he's like hanging on to the oh crap handle the whole time and and screaming. And he even made mention of it on a national stage.
Oh, Lord.
Listening to my driving. So anyways, he was Uncle Mike to us. He taught my children firearm safety and would take them out on the range. And he was just wonderful. My husband got to perform his daughter's wedding. And so it was quite a shock. It wasn't anything like he was declining and we were kind of expecting. And I had called Melissa after. I had a pretty good cry that whole evening and the whole next day. Yesterday, we did have his funeral, and I called Melissa and talked to her that one of the things that's hard to deal with in the UFO realm is us younger people. We make such wonderful friends with those that are older, and they're always the most giving and heartfelt, wonderful people, and you just fall in love with them. They become your very best friends, and then you lose them. I'm about to start tearing up. But I've lost quite a few that are just very dear in my heart, and we always carry them with us, and remember what they taught us along the way. So, I just wanted to remember Mike 6 and tell his family I'm so very sorry for their loss. I know they're struggling now. And, we carry on. We carry on their memories. So with that, let's go ahead and turn on over to happier things. I know we have a great guest today, and we do have a couple of questions for the audience that we want to pose to them. So question number 1 is, have you ever found something strange on Google Earth that looked not quite natural? And question number 2 is, do you think NASA hides more than it reveals? I think we all have very strong thoughts on question number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And the answer, yes.
I think I'm going to have to mute, guys. Do you hear this? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
John got it. He's cooking
Okay.
pancakes and bacon, and I think that he set off the smoke alarm. He's got it
Heavens.
under control. I guarantee
Oh
he's in there
my.
taking out the battery real quick. Like,
Oh my goodness.
so,
5
anyways,
alarm fire.
yes. I'm looking forward to digging into the strange things on Google Earth, because I know we've all probably gone on there and dug. Melissa, have you found anything?
I spend a lot of time on Google Earth looking and trying to
Yeah.
find different things, and there has been some spaces that are blurred out, and I'm like, for what reason are you doing that?
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
a couple of years ago, and Mary Joyce may be able to tell us some about it. I remember off the coast of California, it looked like underground base or underwater bases that had been blurred out. I like whenever we catch people that are like, you know, just going about their business, and they're walking down the road, maybe in their short shirt on, and have a funny hat or something. I love it whenever they catch people on there doing just weird stuff. So anyhow, with that, let's turn over to this week in history.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got a couple good ones.
Yeah.
December 9th, 1965, skies over 6 U.S. states and parts of Canada lit up in a blaze. Witnesses reported a massive fireball streaking across the heavens near Detroit and Windsor. But the light show was just the beginning. Moments later, dozens of calls flooded into local police in Pennsylvania. A loud crash, strange glowing debris in the woods near the small town of Kecksburg. People described a metallic object bell shape about the size of a Volkswagen, lying among the trees before it vanished under heavy military guard. Residents say that the area was locked down. Military trucks, armed men, and rapid cleanup operation erased nearly every trace. But the rumors and conflicting testimony persisted. Some claimed the object had bizarre glyphs etched onto its sides, and others swore that the military confiscated part of it. Decades later, we're still asking what crashed near Kecksburg that night. A meteor, a satellite re-entry, or something far more anomalous, a craft removed just hours after it fell, under a cloud of secrecy and conflicting statements. Whatever it was, it definitely left its mark.
Wow. Yeah. And that one looked like the one Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
With
he
that-
had, right. The bell.
I
Yeah,
had heard that quite a bit, Terry. People were relating it to Diglocka, but then I heard that, didn't they come out and say that Kecksburg was actually a satellite, or it was an American test vehicle or something? I thought they came out and said that they identified it.
Debunked it. Yeah. Or tried to, you know.
Well, I mean, we saw what they did with Roswell and the mannequins. So who knows? I'll need to look back into that, but I remember reading about it. But that's ringing a bell. So
Yeah.
funny. Anyways,
No pun intended.
I know. All right, Melissa, what else you got for us?
Okay, our second one this evening. In December of 1978, a series of UFOs encountered off the coast of New Zealand would go on to become one of the most well-documented and least explainable cases in global UFO history. Over multiple nights, flight crews reported glowing lights tailing their crafts. The objects moved erratically, appeared to dodge radar pings, and then reappear in impossible formations, sometimes pacing the wings of cargo planes mid-flight. But this wasn't just another pilot sighting. These objects were tracked simultaneously by ground radar, onboard instruments, and even caught on video by a professional television crew inside the plane. We're not just talking eyewitnesses, we're talking triangulated evidence from radar, cockpit visuals, and actual film. It's one of the few historical cases that checks all three boxes. Military and civilian authorities both launched investigations. Declassified documents showed that government officials struggled and ultimately failed to explain what was seen. Today, the Kokora Lights case remains one of those highly compelling examples of coordinated multi-source detection of UAP activity where pilots, radar techs, and journalists, they all look skyward and they all saw the same thing.
That's a great case. And I love it because it is definitely not ours, definitely theirs. That wasn't one that you could make some story up about, or try to cover up. You love it.
I agree.
You love it. Yeah. Very good. And I don't know, I really hadn't followed that one a lot, but the Kecksburg, that was a very interesting case. And it's very well known in ufology.
Yeah, the radio back and forth is public. So it's an interesting listen too.
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll have to look it up. Yeah.
In your spare time, Mindy.
Yes, in the spare time that you find it.
Yeah.
Right. All 2 seconds of it.
I know. I thought today we had so many things lined up and then ended up canceling one and then the other didn't line up right. And so then it was just the podcast tonight. And I have been on the phone all day. So I the day fills in, even if a small amount of time comes open, something else shows up. But this is all very good stuff. So we were talking before coming on live. Tomorrow will be a very good day. So
yes, it will.
So with that, Terry, let's introduce our guest and bring her in.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds great. Yes, tonight we have Mary Joyce with us. She's a veteran investigative journalist who's worked for major newspapers, including the Orlando Sentinel, yay, and the Oakland Press, where she served as a columnist, Sunday Magazine editor, and feature editor. Since 2008, she's been the lead researcher and editor for Sky Ships Over Cashiers, that's in North Carolina, a website known for exposing government cover-ups, underground bases, Bigfoot investigations, and anomalous phenomenon hidden in plain sight. Mary is the author of multiple books, including Spy in the Sky, which documents her satellite-based discoveries of structures on the moon, anomalous in Antarctica, massive crafts near the sun, and suppressed data erased by Google Earth. Her experience spans everything from mob investigations in Detroit to interviewing whistleblowers with cosmic top secret clearances. So without that, let's just go ahead and bring her on and welcome her to the International UFO Bureau tonight. So glad to have you, Mary.
Thank you for the intro. That was very nice.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah, it's all about you.
It's all about me. No wonder I like it.
There you go. Well,
like
and it's true. And I had to say something about Orlando Sentinel because, I lived in St. Petersburg, Florida for so many years, and Orlando was just a hop, skip, and a jump over to the other
We were
coast.
always competing with the St. Pete Times for all the awards.
My favorite paper of all time. I loved that. And then they turned it into the Tampa Tribune, canceled it. But anyway, so you are a investigative journalist. So tell me a little bit about that. Did you do anything with UFOs with that investigative journalism?
No.
Okay.
I ended up over on the beach. I worked at Brevard Community College, which now has another name now. I think it's East College or something like that in Florida. And I was right between Patrick Air Force Base and the Kennedy Space Center. So
Oh, okay.
I began to meet people who worked at NASA. I began to see things in the sky. Um, it was not a discovery I made as an official journalist. These were things I did on
Okay.
my own, and
Sure.
curiosity will get you anywhere. So, but I do want to tell you
I
that I have gotten almost instant verification that our government is trying to keep things from the public. You would not believe how many
Mm.
times I have found things using, let's say, Google Earth, and I'll post it on the website, which is skyshipsovercashiers.com. And maybe the next day it's gone, or it's flushed
Yeah.
out, or it's,
Really?
Right.
can't identify it anymore. This has happened over and over and over again. I've given up on any idea that I might have privacy. One day I found some stuff in Antarctica, and I got on the phone with somebody who you would know in this field, and told the person about what I had found. I said, I'll send you a copy right after I have a shower. I did not stay in there very long. I came back. By the time I came back, it was Antarctica, and you could barely see this oval shape that
Oh
had
my
turned white
goodness.
right where I had found this discovery. That's how
Ooh.
Mm.
quickly things can happen.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I
wow.
found, I'm just sticking to Earth right
Yeah.
now. I found 2 pyramids south of Paradise Island. I posted that. And all of a sudden, it's like somebody had taken a photographic Band-Aid and put it right over those pyramids so you couldn't see it anymore. It's getting
Really.
harder and harder to find things because they're trying to stay a step ahead of us. And so um, I'm glad I started some of this a whole long time ago because I wouldn't be able to find the things now. And
Mm.
that's the wonder I want to tell everybody who's listening. You've got a key on your keyboard about print screen.
Uh-huh.
Have
Yeah.
that ready. If you find something really good when you're exploring with Google Earth, you hit that and save it. And in the book, Spy in the Sky, thank God I did that because I can show people
Yeah.
on many of those things before and after. And
Okay. What just happened? Oops.
There we
What happened? Uh-oh. We're talking about this stuff and all of a sudden she disappears. Did
It was-
anybody hit the print screen?
it was your promotional screen that popped up there.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I don't know why. We don't know why. Okay, so keep on going. This is good.
Keep on going. Tell me what you're the most
Yeah.
interested in. You want to hear about Mars or the moon or the sun or the bottom of the ocean? What strikes you?
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Or
All
Antarctica?
of it.
Let me dig in here. No, because I love this stuff. Mary, this is amazing. I was not familiar with your work until Terry was like, I'm inviting Mary Joyce on. And I was like, oh, okay. I went and looked at your website. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's done everything. So,
That started in 2008. So, there's
Oh
a
my
lot of
goodness.
stuff there. And every section has
Yeah.
archives that go back to the beginning. And I swear to
Yeah.
God, most people will go into the archives. It'll be brand new to them. So
Right.
it's not like
Yeah.
you're reading
Yeah.
history when you go into the archives.
Yeah.
well,
Right.
I know that like with the TikTok generation, a lot of those kids, I say kids, 30 somethings and lower, they'll go in and they'll actually screen record as they're zooming into
Mhm.
things, especially in
Right.
Antarctica if they find different stuff. And that way they have a copy of it, of actually how they get into it to zoom into that particular place. So that's another tool that people can use to make sure that they're keeping a copy of anything anomalous that they're finding. So what was like probably the biggest thing that you found? What was the most exciting thing that you have found?
I got excited about almost everything when I found them initially. I go, oh my God, look
Yeah.
what I just found. So it's almost like you have to do it by categories. And Antarctica has really gotten my attention. And I'll give you another
Yes.
example of how
Yeah.
things have disappeared. There's stuff going on down there that the famous they, don't want us to know. I found 2 entrances into Antarctica. The largest one was about, I'm going to give you general figures, was about 300 feet across and 100 feet high. Now, planes can fly into something that's that big. Then there was
Right.
another
Right.
one that's a little bit smaller, but it almost had it looks like a metal awning over the entrance of it.
Hmm.
So I get pictures of both of these. I put them on the website, and the next day there, I swear I get nudged sometimes to do stuff. So I turned it on once, and it's like somebody took a bottle of ink and just poured it all over it, and it was just black. Then, very briefly, and this is why I think I was nudged, because it was there for such a short time. It said Hollow Earth Entrance and Hollow Earth Entrance 2.
What?
Then that
Really?
Wow.
it really did, but it was just there for an instant, and I swear to God, I was nudged to get that because the timing was just incredible. And then after that, that whole area looked like it was nothing but a field of ice. So I have it in the book in those 3 steps. So whatever's going on down in Antarctica, they don't want us to know. Now, I can
No.
understand if that's an active entrance where there's either spaceships or planes or something going in and out of that hole. They don't want us to know. I can understand that. But they're also hiding history. We
Right.
found 5. Well, the ice is melting real fast down there. So we're beginning to see things we haven't been able to see before. And
Yeah.
we found the remains of 5 cities. You can see the square cut walls. And
Really?
those have all been blurred after I posted them on the website. So they're watching.
So,
I'm not a big deal. This is not a big website, but it is being watched.
so are any of those entrances or any of the structures anywhere around like McMurdo, or is that far away?
Well,
Are
that's the
we
best known.
actually
That's the best known place. So you're not going to find as much stuff around that. And some of these
right?
things we actually found. Some of the cities we found. It was like a crack in the ice. We zoomed into that crack, and that's when we found one of them. So you just have to
Wow.
explore in different areas. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you exactly where all these are in Antarctica, but everything I've done, I've given coordinates. So people, they may not be able to find the
Ooh,
original, but at
nice.
least I'm giving people something where they can go back and check something for themselves. I get quite annoyed when people post these pictures that look really great. You don't know who took them. You don't know where they actually are. And
Yeah.
now we have
Yeah.
AI and we have to analyze it from that
Yes.
perspective. And it's annoying when people don't, really do their job and tell people where this stuff is.
Yeah. Well, Admiral Byrd had gone down there and flown into an area, that was all of a sudden very tropical and amazing. And that was not a fake story, that was a fact. And he documented it all. There were others.
That
You
was his
know,
that
so
was his secret diary. It was very small.
yeah,
I don't know what the circumstances were that it came out, but it did come out.
yeah,
And
yeah,
something took over the controls of his plane, and he flew inside the planet,
right,
inside
right
Antarctica,
into it,
and there was a whole
right.
very evolved society down there.
And then we have, let's see, Buzz Aldrin speaking to Antarctica and saying, "Oh my God, that place is." What term did he use, Mindy? Did he say it was
I think
unholy or ungodly, or it was
they had
really,
to like
it
life
was,
flight him out of there, didn't they?
yeah,
I'm
yes.
still
And he
stuck on
said it was
Admiral Byrd.
horrible. Yeah, I
Let,
know,
let,
I
let me
know.
back up real quick because, Mary, I want to ask you if you've been watching this very closely with Antarctica. I know that you know all about Admiral Byrd. I had asked Terry a few months ago. I noticed a flip flop in the spelling of his name, and this is going more kind of esoteric
Yeah,
the
yeah,
into the Mandela effect. But I had watched a documentary and they were spelling it Bird. I literally took pictures on my phone. I told my husband it is not spelled that way. It's always been with a Y. I've never seen anyone else talk about it, but I saw it and I documented it, and now everything's gone. Have you ever noticed it flip flopping with the
I have
spelling of his
not.
name?
I have not.
I swear I'm going to find someone because I got my husband. I was like, look at this. You remember this? And it changed back. It changed back a few months ago that it was back to the BYRD. It's driving me crazy. So,
Could it just be somebody being careless or stupid or not, knowing how
no,
to really spell it?
I thought that too. I actually went on to Google and
Stupidity is really heavy. I mean, there's a lot of it.
yeah.
oh
No,
boy.
whenever I went on to Google, it actually had it spelled with the BIRD. And so it was confirming what I had seen. And now, again, you go into Google and it's back to normal. So I don't know. It might have been a personal glitch or something, but uh, it's always gotten me because I know that it was BYRD and it had changed. So, anyways,
Can't
I'm getting off topic.
can't
Yeah.
help that. Sorry.
Melissa,
Yeah.
let's
Oh my
hear from you.
Oh, wait. Let me go back to the thing about the cities disappearing, because I really didn't emphasize the fact that they're hiding history. Now, I understand hiding entrances that might be active. Why are they hiding history? Most scientists say that continent has been covered in ice for about 34 million years. That's a long time ago. I mean, people
Yeah.
think the Great Pyramid's old. It's like just a blink. It's what, less than 5,000 years old? So
Right.
compare that to 34 million. Why are we hiding that? I think that's exciting history. It doesn't seem like we should hide it, but they are.
Yeah. I think that's
Why
the
do you
most
think they
frustrating
are?
part.
It makes no sense to me. They're also hiding. So many things have disappeared into the Smithsonian with the skeletons, the giant skeletons. Why
I
are
mean,
they?
we could go the religious route because we have a lot of you go back in history and you look at how they indoctrinated, and if you start bringing in these actual priests, it starts to crumble religion and then they lose control. That's
Yeah.
part of my thought process
There's
behind
some
it.
logic there. There's some real logic there. So won't argue that at all. And there are people who are in high government positions who are very, very um, conservative about their religion, about Christianity. It's hard for me to believe that somebody still thinks everything happened in 6,000 years, but there are people in high places who apparently think that way. And I go, oh my gosh. So it could be that.
Yeah.
At
Thank
least
you, Benno. He said, I saw it misspelled. Thank you. You're the first person to confirm that for me. I knew someone out there, Benno. I love you. Thank you. Um,
Oh
and my
my God.
husband can confirm it too. It's been driving me nuts. Um, anyways, go ahead,
Oh yeah,
Melissa.
no, I wanted to ask her. We were talking about you being into some top secret things. So you've interviewed people with extremely high level clearances. What was one of the most unforgettable things from a whistleblower? Period.
um, I got to know Clark McClellan, who I know is also known to all of you, or at least some of you. Um, and I learned a lot from him. And he had become friends with um, Von Braun. And when Von Braun would come to Florida for different meetings and conferences, and those two would go off together and talk, by themselves at the beach or around the pool. And the stories that Clark had that he had learned from Von Braun, I thought was really kind of interesting. Yeah, there's Clark as a young man. Who's doing this? That's terrific. Who's so quick about this? I'm impressed.
That's our
That would be
that's
our
our
button
producer.
daddy, Kevin.
Yep, that's the button daddy kid.
Anyhow, um, he talked about a number of things that struck me. One was that the UFOs that went over the Capitol back in 1952 that everybody talks about, he
Uh-huh.
says those were the Germans' UFOs and
Really?
that flew over. And that was coming from Von Braun, who probably knew what he was talking about. So
Right.
I found that real surprising. He also talked to Clark about. I'm getting this secondhand. This is coming from Clark,
Yeah.
not
Right.
Yeah.
from Von Braun, but that's as close as I can get to Von Braun. And he
Right.
talked about
Right.
how the Nazis did have a base in Antarctica, and they were
Yeah.
flying. Go ahead.
We actually Kevin and I met Clark and spoke to him many times when we lived in Lakeland. We drove over to his house and did kind of little mini interviews and things like that. He has passed, but he was very interesting, and he had seen a lot that had gone on at the Apollo missions and things. He sent me some of the gold that they used on the missions and things like that, and pictures of him, there. So he knew what he was talking about, and very interesting man. Really saw a lot. I don't want to say too much about it tonight because this is about you, but
Well, I can still
I'm-
tie in with him.
Yeah.
I was not acting as a reporter. There were a very small number of us who met together at a small bungalow house in Orlando
Yeah.
after he had lost his job with with NASA. And I think
Right.
it's
Mhm.
important for people to know why he lost his job.
Yes.
He was trained as an astronaut, but he really worked at mission control because he
Right.
could perhaps fix things. If they had trouble in the air, maybe they could fix it
Right.
from down on the ground.
Yeah.
But he was still a trained astronaut. When he was watching all the monitors at one situation, he saw two astronauts in the open bay of the shuttle with a ET that was considerably taller.
Yes.
And the ET's craft was parked right there. And
Right.
he,
That's what he told us.
okay, so our stories match. We got them different ways,
Yes.
but they match.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he felt
That
like
makes
the
sense.
government shouldn't be hiding all this stuff from everybody. And he talked about it. And he lost his job and he got blackballed. And I think he had a job for a while as a bus driver. I mean, he just couldn't get anything.
Oh
And
my
this is a
gosh.
man with incredible credentials. So
Right.
when they
Yeah,
say,
right.
so he lost all his benefits, he lost everything. And
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
something he gave me from the Apollo mission there. And he signed the back of this. And this is a piece of the gold up in that little corner that he sent me
Oh,
from
yeah.
the mission, the moon landing.
Wow.
Yeah. I have a picture of him on the back at the,
We can't hardly
let's
see it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
no, it's pretty tiny. Yeah, pretty tiny.
There we
There you
are.
go.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Kevin. Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, how cool.
So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. He's a great guy, and he did really have a very difficult time once he was removed. And
well,
life did
he
not.
was almost a basket case when I met him. I wasn't
He-
there trying to do a
yes.
story. I was there,
Right.
support teams. And
Yeah.
he was devastated. Plus,
Yes.
he was dating, is it Resnick? Is that her name?
Yes.
The one that was killed in
the one who
explosion.
was killed, and that
That
really finished him.
really hit him. There they are. That really
Yeah, there
broke
they
his
are.
heart too
Yeah.
when she was killed. So his life
Yes.
after that was pretty devastating.
Yes, he wanted to marry her, and that it looked like that was what was going to happen, and then she died on that mission. So
Right.
So I
Yeah.
wanted to back up, Mary, and
Yeah,
clarify.
back anywhere you want. Anywhere you want.
You have so much information. I'm trying to keep track of everything. So you said that he had seen a tall alien with
Right.
two astronauts. Was this on the moon, or where was this? Where did this take place?
at the ship, at the ships, right?
They
At
it was
NASA.
where it was it must my mind's going on here. It must have been the space.
Like
it was at
Canaveral,
yeah.
or
Right.
Yeah, Cape Canaveral.
And they had, I'm talking in air, and they had docked, the aliens had docked there. And it was the
Mhm.
open bay of is it the shuttle thing?
It would be NASA.
And that was opened, and they met out there in the open bay.
Mhm.
There was
now,
another
is this with
episode.
Eisenhower,
What?
or is this a whole different thing?
What?
I think that's different.
Is it okay? Well, you know the story about Eisenhower supposedly meeting.
Right.
Right.
Some
That whole
entities
totally
out
different
there.
story. Right.
Okay.
Totally different. Totally
Wow.
different time frame. Yeah.
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 Wow.
But that's his story. And, I had listened to it and we had recorded it. Kevin and we spent quite a bit of time with him. So, I just have to say it's interesting that somebody else knows about him because he did pass, and, information was kind of all sequestered. So unfortunately,
Non-terrestrial officers.
Well, he did get a
Yeah.
book out. Somebody did publish it for him after he died. I think after he
I
died.
think it was Paula Harris, but I'm not sure.
No, it
It
wasn't.
wasn't Paula?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know then. Yeah.
But there is a
Okay.
book. There is a book, and most of his stories are in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, back to
so
Antarctica.
let's turn. No, I want to. Terry, we're running out of time.
Oh, now.
I want to.
Okay.
I want to hear about the moon and the sun and the things she's
Okay.
found.
Let's go to Mars. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
Mars.
First of all, I'm going to read two sentences to you. There's a man
Okay.
who was in charge of the Israeli space security program for almost 30 years. I'll mutilate his name, but it's Hyman Ashid. I know that's not how they say it, but it's close. And he decided that he was going to share what he knew, and he gave his information to the Jerusalem Post in December of 2020. And the whole statement is in the book, Sky Ships, Spy in the Sky. And here are the two sentences that I think are really important. There's an agreement between the US government and the aliens. One sentence. Second sentence, there's an underground base in the depths of Mars where the alien representatives are and also our American astronauts. So before I started putting stuff in the book about what I found using Google Earth, I started out with that because that's a real good endorsement that there is truth to these photos. They're not just, fabrications out of nowhere. The importance of seeing things differently or getting your mind out of the box is real important, because every time I looked at Mars, I would scan it from one side to the other, left to right, east to west, whatever. And one day I go, and I started looking from pole to pole. And that's when I discovered 27 square cut entrances into the planet spread out over 16 miles. And these are not old, these are not from antiquity. And
Really?
if I had
newer structures,
there would be more contemporary structures. They're not like the ruins from an ancient civilization. And all of they vary in, again, general figures. They would range from like 400 feet in diameter to 1,000 feet in diameter. All basically the same, except the trim around it would vary from one to the other. It wasn't just duplicate. I found that astounding for two reasons: how important it is to look at things differently sometimes. I never would have found it just going around this way. And I think every one of us needs to kick ourselves periodically and say, okay, let's take a look at it a different way, because you just might find something you wouldn't have found any other way. One of the earliest things I found was back in 2011, and I was scooting around the north part of Mars, and I found what looks to be a habitat, like where humans could live. And it was 700 feet in length. 5 years later, I'm doing another one of my little tours down at the bottom of Mars. I found another one that looked very similar in structure, except it was exactly 10 times bigger. It was 7,000 feet in length.
Wow.
And again, it's just persistence, and you keep looking. It's harder and harder to find these things, because I see stuff blurred all the time, and you wonder, oh, what did I miss? What is beneath all that blur? Because they're really, really good at it. Another thing on Mars that I found rather early on that was interesting was a UFO that was landed on Mars. You can see the shadow that it cast. You could see the rounded center of it. We've seen UFOs like that. They're disc shaped with a part in the middle that pops up.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, it's like 3.5 miles in diameter. No small, pretty good sized ship.
Yeah. Wow,
I found two other ones on Mars, both of them smaller. One, you could see the skid mark. So it'd come in like this, and it came to a dead halt when it hit the soil. The streak was over 4,000 feet in length.
I think I've seen that picture. That went kind of famous, didn't it? It went.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I that's one I got original, and I don't know if it's just been copied or somebody else got lucky and found the same thing. I have no idea.
Oh,
So
interesting.
So
Well,
are you
if we,
finding-
oh,
I'm sorry, are you finding things more at the poles then? And if so, why do you think that is? Is there less chance of
no,
like the
no, no,
storms
no,
or?
no. I found things, in the middle. I found something that looked like a rash. I thought, oh my, it looked like a rash. So I zoom in, and when I zoomed in real close, it had, the shapes were kind of like this, and they had a metallic kind of a glow to them. It wasn't real clear focus. But after I put that on the website, now they look more like cockroaches. You can't see
oh
them.
dear.
You can't see a metallic. You can't see anything metallic about it at all, and you can't see the almost like a Quonset hut shape to it.
Hmm.
But I can't tell you what I've been most amazed at, because every time I find something, I go, "Oh my God!"
There's another one.
And I never ever expected to find something on the moon, because I know for a fact they've been washing out things on the moon for decades now. But I
Yeah,
decided,
that is
well,
the
I'll
truth.
spend some time anyhow, and maybe I'll get lucky. But I didn't expect the thing. I found a pyramid.
Well,
I found a white pyramid.
oh
It's on
wow.
the side of the moon that faces Earth. I've got the coordinates.
Wow.
The last time I looked, you could still find it. Why
Wow.
that hasn't been covered up, I do not know.
Yeah, your book has a lot of interesting shots from all over in different places. But if I can bring us back to Earth for just a second, I do want to ask this question because we are running late. You've written about underground bases in North Carolina, and what evidence convinced you these installations are real and active?
Wow, you want to go into a total different topic. Unbelievable.
I did. I
There's
know
so much-
because I'm.
wait, wasn't there some
Why
stuff
don't
about
we,
the
why don't
sun?
we put that aside? Maybe sometime in the future we can deal with that.
All
one,
right,
because
we'll
there's
bring
a
you
lot.
back.
There's a lot.
Okay,
there's
we'll
a
bring
lot
you
to
back.
that. I would hate to just go,
Okay.
and that's it,
Okay.
And
Yeah, because
I
you
also,
said you have some stuff about the sun as well.
I
Yeah.
do, and I'm glad you brought
I
that up.
know.
I think it's real
Yeah.
important. I talk about that UFO on Mars, so big, like it's 3.5 miles across. That is nothing compared to what's being found around the sun. They're
I know.
humongous. They're bigger than Jupiter. Jupiter's our biggest
Yes.
planet. And
Yeah.
I was very, very fortunate. I was in touch for 3 years with a man in the Netherlands who had the ability, the technical skills to take original NASA photos, not only enlarge them, but like get rid of the interference and the distortions and really zero in. All of these UFOs, again, they're all bigger than Jupiter, but they come in odd
Right.
shapes. They don't look like
Yes.
any
I know.
UFO you would expect.
Yeah.
Just like we
you
had
know, we
on,
just
I cannot remember
David
his
Toon.
David
Toon.
Yes.
Yeah. The NASA techno signatures. And I was telling Mary about that, how everything she has is just like what he has. And he's a professor at Emory-Riddle, and he's caught all these from NASA techno signatures. And they're massive. Massive.
Give me the term. What do you
Yeah.
mean by techno signature? What does that mean?
The techno signature is what he finds on these pictures that NASA takes. And I guess I don't know exactly. He did tell me exactly what techno signature stood for, but it's going to take one of those younger minds to bring all that. The
If
gray
you
matter,
go
I
back
don't know.
and
I think it,
Is
Yeah,
it a
if
word
you go
he's
back and
invented?
watch our past, the one that we had
Um,
him on, you'll see some of the videos that here, some of the
well,
pictures. that he's
techno,
talking about.
yeah.
Is it a
techno
word
would
he
come
made up?
from,
Because I've never heard it. Perhaps.
I think that it's something he has applied to it to
Maybe.
describe the technology
Right.
Yeah,
reflected in
technology
some of these objects.
signatures.
So that would almost be reflected in like Three-Eye Atlas. What are your thoughts on
Right.
it with its
Yeah.
unusual
Well,
shape?
everything that I have seen, that the guy's name is Mart Padmos. Again, he's from the Netherlands. Everything that he found was very technical in structure. Every image we
Yeah.
see of Three-Eye Atlas is not at all. So they're totally different things.
Different.
But some
Yeah.
of the structures, they're just so mechanical. There's one that stretches out and it looks sort of like one of those silver flutes. You know how a flute has all
Uh-huh.
those different things
Yeah.
on it? It
Yeah.
has that kind of complications to it. So it's not a thing that could be dismissed as, I don't know, as a comet or a whatever. So
Right.
Yeah.
they're
I
remarkable
was,
pictures. And there is mystery with him because I was in touch with him for 3 years and then he dropped off the map. His
Mhm.
YouTube channel wasn't ever revived. He no response when I contacted him. I used the internet and searched for him in his home country. I even checked the obituaries, never found those, but he
oh,
just disappeared. And
oh,
um, it may be because they didn't like him revealing all this stuff. That's very, very possible.
oh,
Yes. So do
right.
you have a
Yeah.
whole team that works with you to help look for all of these different anomalies, or
I just
is it just
sometimes
a
now
one?
he got in touch with me. Um, and magical things just sometimes happen. I think we get connected when something's supposed to come out.
I agree.
We know all about that.
Okay, so don't need to explain anymore.
Yeah. Divine interventions. Yeah. Well, yeah, I really hope that you can look into David Toon and see what his stuff is all about. I was looking for my notes from previous
Spell his last name.
interviews. Toon, like Nancy. David Toon.
Well, David
Major
needs to check
David.
out her work because hers is
Yeah.
even beyond. His is mainly around the
Yeah.
sun. David
Just the
took our
sun, yeah.
notes here. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
I
That's
just
what
thought
I
it would
was
be
thinking.
cool if you saw that dragon-looking one that we saw last week. 'cause They
Yes.
come in such strange shapes. I thought you might find that picture interesting.
Yes.
I'll do my
And
homework.
some of them were very ethereal. And it's interesting because they do have such strange shapes and they're out there and we don't even hear about them unless we have somebody like Mary or David or this guy from the Netherlands talking about it. So, that's odd that it's not brought up in the news like, oh, look what we found, all of a sudden, we
I think we're
hear.
sitting. I think we're sitting on the biggest news story in the world,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just sitting there with a lid on it, and occasionally a little puff goes like this, and the lid shakes. But I still think it's the biggest story going.
Yeah, it's a pretty big story, really.
Mhm.
It
And
really is.
hardly anyone will pay any attention to it.
But
It's
they are
amazing.
the UFOs are making themselves seen in a very noticeable way now, and that will
Yes,
not let
yes.
up. And
Mhm.
disclosure has been taken out of the hands of our government. The
Yes,
ETs have decided they're going to make
yes.
sure this gets out, and I really do
Right.
believe that's happening. Um,
Do you believe that
Mhm.
society's ready for it?
um, I used to say, without hesitation, I think human beings can deal with it. In the
Yeah.
last few years, I have seen so much stupidity that I really don't know. I
I
think
know.
I think there's going to be
Yeah.
a lot of people, their socks are going to be blown
Right off.
right
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I'm not as
Hmm.
confident in people being ready as I once thought they would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't
kind
that
of
the truth?
disappointing.
Mhm.
But the newer generations, like Melissa's
Now, the
generation,
youngest generation, I have so much faith in the younger
yes,
generation. Some of the best news is coming from the young guys on YouTubes.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Very true.
I'm getting better stories or stories I don't get on TV. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I see the difference. And it's young people that are truly
Yeah.
coming through. And
They're
I think there's
smart.
more of them that have been born that at a deep level, they know they're supposed to do something,
Yes.
even if they
Right.
can't really spell it out. There's
Yes.
young people getting involved in politics, doing that, and they're right there, and they're going to step into it, and they're going to step
Yeah.
into it in a really good way. So I'm a
Mhm.
long-term optimist, but right now it's a big pile of poop.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that that's part of what we're doing here is trying to mentor each generation. Like my kids are Gen Z, and so they're so brilliant, and they've been raised around AI and its
Mhm.
development and everything. They can immediately spot it and say, no, no, it's getting harder. But
Oh, it's
most of
getting harder.
the younger
Yeah.
generation is so quick to notice it and rule things out, and they're not letting anything pass them. They
Right.
are so quick. Uh, they know whenever something's bull crap and they call it out.
Right.
And they're much more open-minded. So it seems like with each generation, we're getting closer and closer to a humanity that is probably
I think the current generation that would be I don't know the labels. The people in their 20s right now, I really think they're incredible young people, and I think they're going to make
Yeah.
a world of difference. And I think that I don't think it's been a gradual growth like from one generation to the other. I think that generation has been given a shot in the arm with some superpower.
I think you're
Yeah,
right.
they're like,
Do
yeah.
you remember, and you might know this, Melissa, I don't know, it might have been before your time, but they used to call us indigo children. Did you
Oh
ever
yes,
Oh,
I'm
right.
considered. Yeah, I have been considered an indigo child, even though I'm 94. It was just how I presented. They said I was indigo.
Right. Yeah. Have you ever heard that term before, Mary?
Oh yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
was
I figured you were
kind of a
talking about the crystal children, because it seems like
Right,
the
right.
babies that are being born they seem to be more conscious earlier and earlier, very
Yeah.
aware.
Right. Yeah.
So that should give us all
Incredible.
hope. Should give us all hope. So
Absolutely.
And I just have to say for the baby boomers, if I was born with all them cell phones and laptops, I'd be a whole lot brighter. If I had to do the hard work like Mary has, we actually had to take a test and we couldn't use anything but old brain power here. You know, kids today are like, you know, they get all their info.
But I'm not
But,
going backwards. I mean, the very first book I ever did, I had to type it out on an old typewriter.
Right.
I blot it
Yeah.
up. I would cut out the pieces that I would want to save, and I'd tape them together. And then I had an X-Acto knife, and I had to lay out the pages
Oh,
in
dear
flats
God.
of 8 pages on a flat.
Oh, yeah.
And you had to know which
Yeah.
way each one was going to go. I mean, we have been through the trenches, and I don't want to go back
Yes.
there.
Oh my gosh.
It-
No,
I
the
love-
struggle.
I
Yeah, the
love
struggle is real.
I love doing the writing on the computer. My goodness.
Oh my
Like
gosh,
magic.
I know, I love it. I know. To think that we're living in this AI generation, I mean, Mary, this is cool because she's a boomer too. So, you know,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is so totally cool that we get to see all of this. But I wouldn't go back. But it is amazing because I look at people like Melissa. She is brilliant. And it's not all just
This
because
one
of
right there?
AI and all that. Yeah, the young one. That little cutie. And she just
That way,
she's
yeah.
got a brain. That one's got a brain. Oh, so do you. But you know, yeah,
I got
we're
a
talking about
brain.
Melissa there.
I'm
All
gonna-
right. Go ahead.
No, you look like you were ready to conduct something. Go ahead.
No, I conduct something. I was about to take us into the lightning round, but let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw out one more thing. I know you've all heard about Lemuria, and that's been dismissed as a legend, and it's not true. Well, I was not the one who started it. The one that found the structure under the ocean near Malibu, you know, the big one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know about
Yeah.
that one? All right.
Yes.
Because of that, I started exploring from Alaska all the way down to Baja, and I found lots of things.
What do you find at Mount Shasta? Because we're full of Lemurians here.
I gotta go somewhere with that, but not right now. Anyhow, the thing that
We'll
I
have
found
you back.
incredible was I found something that looks exactly like airport runway. And in the book, I have a picture of that and the picture of a contemporary airport, so you can see how similar they really are. Now, the longest runway in the world is just over 3 miles long. This thing is 89 miles long.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And that structure
Whoa.
off of Malibu, it's huge. It's absolutely
Wow.
huge. The pillars that hold it up are like 400 feet across for one pillar. There's 2,000 feet between two main pillars. These are huge structures. We've heard through the old legends that the Lemurians were a very large, giant race. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
These structures support that. These
Yes, I've
structures
seen- Yep.
support that there was a civilization in the Atlantic,
Oh,
and
yes.
that Lemuria isn't just some mythical thing that somebody cooked up.
That's
Where is
absolutely
Where is
right.
this at? That is 88 miles long.
Is it the Bay of Baja? It's between Baja and the mainland. It's in that part right there. And
Okay.
I've got the coordinates again in the book. So I'll never be able to remember coordinates on my own. I'm sorry.
Oh gosh, no, yeah.
It's a lot of information to remember.
Could not do that. But I just wanted to throw that in because I think it's exciting that there's concrete evidence that this mystical place really did exist.
It's really
It's getting
there.
harder
Yeah.
and harder to hide some of
Yeah.
these things that we have kind of shrugged off as, myths for so long, because now
Right.
people like yourself are finding evidence to support these
Yeah.
things. And it's
Right.
just growing our knowledge every day.
That's
It's
right.
One of
amazing.
the guys that actually did find proof of Lemurians underneath Mount Shasta, he was able to go underneath there. He found the underground city. He had a bunch of proof. He put together a group of 20 people, and the day before they all went out, he went missing, and he said never been seen again. And apparently the
Oh,
area
yeah.
that he found that we have military in Mount Shasta, they closed it. So we can't get into that space, but I do believe that there is proof under there if we could somebody
Just
could
get
get in.
into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my cup. That's a merch pitch, by the way. Anybody wants to get this cup.
That's so cool that Kevin set that up. So, Mary, what book is it that has all of these mysteries
All right.
in it? I know you
All
have
right.
several.
I'm going to stick with the one subject tonight. It's called Spy in the Sky.
Mhm.
There's been all sorts of efforts to keep that from getting into the hands of the public. So even though
Oh,
I have
wow.
5 books, including that one listed on Amazon, you forget it getting it at Amazon. Go to the website, skyshipsovercashiers.com. Under Editor's Corner, it'll tell you how you can get the book for all of $16 because I just want to get the information out. This is not a moneymaker for me. This is a money loss thing. But I feel like it's really important that people have the information. And so just go to Sky Ships Over Cashiers. And cashiers, you've got it spelled out there for people, but cashiers is spelled just like a cashier at the grocery store.
Right.
And,
Mhm.
So under
And it's a great book. I've got
Editor's
that
Corner.
book and I love it. Yeah. I've been in it all day looking at the pictures. It's just amazing.
It's a great picture book for adults.
Yes. Mhm. With all those techno signatures too.
Yeah.
That's your new word for the day, Mary.
Yeah, I don't keep it simple. They're just giant UFOs.
Okay.
You've done an amazing job, Mary. Really, we're going to have to
Yeah.
bring you back because there is so much that you
Absolutely.
cover. We wanted to dive into the Cherokee Little People and
I
what was it,
know.
Terry, that you were the whistleblowers, underground
Yeah.
bases.
Yeah.
There's so much. Maybe we can get you back in January or February.
January or February. Yeah.
That'd be good. What do you know? Obviously, we don't have time, but just so that I can be excited for next time, how much do you know about the Black Triangle in Alaska?
Not enough to be an expert to be quoted in any way whatsoever. I know
Okay.
about it. I think there's a lot we need to know more about, but
Mhm.
I'm not somebody that would be an authority at all on that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh,
No,
I love your
that's okay.
honesty.
Yeah.
Do we have time
You
for
can't know
two?
everything.
I know.
You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, so moon structures, natural or artificial?
Moon structures?
Yeah.
I think everything about that moon is artificial. I think it was. I think it's hollow. I don't think it's always been there. There's even ancient history talks about a time before the moon. I think the moon's been brought in here.
Ah,
Do you
You
think
know,
something
when they-
else is
Antarctica.
controlling the tides?
I'm sorry.
Do you think that something else would be controlling the tides, or would you still think that it would be even a moon that is constructed?
I don't know what would happen to the water if we didn't, because I know the moon causes the tide. So if it wasn't here,
Sure does.
the water all stay pretty bland.
Hmm.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Possibly.
Interesting thought. Very interesting thought. Okay, one last one. Antarctica, scientific or secretive? Oh, as if we don't know.
Definitely, there's secretive stuff going on down there, without a doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have these little lightning round questions for each person, but we don't have time tonight. So I guess I'm going to have to talk about who we're having on next week. And believe me, Mary, we will have you on again. There's too much to talk about.
Thank you so much
This
for
was
joining
fun.
us.
I know.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Yes,
Take care.
of course. Okay,
Take
so
care.
next week we've got Darcy Weir coming on, and he's our favorite Canadian, the Dark Alliance Exposed. He's a Canadian filmmaker and an IUFOB member, and he's also a great friend, just a very interesting guy. And we're going to be talking about the films and all kinds of subjects with him as well. So he'll be our special guest next week on Wednesday, December 17th. So please tune in then at 7 p.m. here on the Enigmatic Anomalies channel. We look forward to seeing you then with us.
Yes. And as always, thank you guys for joining us tonight on the Bureau. Visit internationalUFObureau.com and follow us on social media to stay connected. Until next time, stay curious, stay courageous, and never stop demanding the truth.
Thank you for joining us today on The Bureau. For exclusive content, follow the International UFO Bureau on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. From yesterday's sightings to tomorrow's revelations, be sure to tune in next time right here only on